Press conference for the 2022 Diriyah E-Prix, the first round of the ABB FIA Formula E World Championship of Season 8. We have got our team representatives first of all. Delighted to be joined by Roger Griffiths from Andretti Autosport, James Barclay from Jaguar TCS Racing, and Ian James from Mercedes EQ Formula E team. And Ian, we will start with you. Reigning champions coming into this season, is that more pressure? Is it still the same for you? How do you feel?
That's a question I've kind of been wrestling with for a little while now, whether it's more pressure or less pressure. I think in a way it's pretty much the same. We've hit the reset button. It's that old cliche that you only as good as the last race. And I think we need to hit the ground running in season 8 now. I think we've had the right balance of stability with the team at the end of last season, but also bringing some fresh changes as well. So that brings with it a natural kind of pressure to make sure that the machine's still working as it should. So there's enough to get our teeth into, but just very much looking forward to getting it all underway.
Do you think you have the best powertrain?
Absolutely, yeah, without a doubt. Next question.
Yeah, okay, well, no, we want to James. How are you feeling coming to this season? Obviously, it was probably the closest Jaguar came to the championship last year, and for you and Mitch especially, it must have been quite difficult to put that sort of Berlin anomaly behind you.
Yeah, it's definitely one that was sitting in the memory bank for a while, but actually, to be honest, despite the massive, obviously, disappointment of the day, we have a lot to be proud of. We fought the championship right down to the last race of the season. It was unfortunate what happened, but it's not like something we can learn from that. And I think you turn that energy into a positive force, and that's exactly what we've done. As a team, it's not a question of can we know we can fight the championship. So, and for driver point of view, Mitch has that kind of confidence and can absolutely fight the championship. That's outside of his control. So use that positively, and actually it's quite a powerful thing. But the key thing for this season is not being complacent. Ian mentioned it. It's a new season. Yes, we have a 2-year homologation, which should create a bit of a stability and an order, but it's so close anyway. It's not like you're talking seconds, you're talking tenths and thousands in many examples. So yeah, we know it's going to be incredibly close, and I think the big thing for us is with the rule changes this year on the sporting side, being on top of that and seeing how that's going to play out, because I think these first couple of races, the new qualifying formats, the new sporting regulations, it's going to be quite fascinating. So getting on top of those quickly is really close.
What do you think the biggest change is going to be in terms of the sporting regulations?
Well, obviously the other one is qualifying. We have a very different qualifying approach. It should take away the huge disadvantage we saw previously of the championship leaders being in Group 1. So you shouldn't have this kind of yo-yo effect where you have the best cars driving teams in Group 1 qualifying way outside the top 10 and then coming back the following day. That unpredictability, which was not unpredictable in the end, it was very predictable because of that format. So what we do actually have now is a format which I think will still be incredibly close. You have to navigate your way through qualifying, and we hope the change will see more of a natural order start to form during the year, but it will still be very unpredictable. With the gaps between cars, a tiny error, either on the driving side, the strategy side, in just getting the class set for qualifying could also, you might be the top 3, you might be outside the top 10. So that's going to be very key to get on top of. But then obviously in the race we have new power levels to run into, that will change the strategy to some degree. So yeah, there's a lot to contend with in that space, and I think it's going to definitely create quite a different narrative this season, which I think we're ready for.
Absolutely. Best of luck. Roger, welcome back to Avalanche and Andretti. How big a shift has it been to get the team ready for this year after the sort of departure of BMW? Has that been a big project or not as bad as you thought?
I mean, it has no doubt been quite a large project for us to work through, but it wasn't something that we just started at the end of season 7. So, once we've been informed by BMW that the relationship was coming to an end, we really started the process of transitioning from a full factory team to now our own independent team. So we've been able to do it in manageable chunks, put the engineering team in place very early on, and that's really started to gel. And obviously, being able to transfer Jake Dennis from under BMW's control to our control was a big win for us as well.
In terms of that transition, could you just go back to basically how you're operating in season 4, or has Formula E moved on so much you need a totally different outlook?
I mean, obviously, Formula E has moved on a tremendous amount, and it's a very different format to what we had in season 4. We as a team has learned an awful lot from BMW. I mean, the relationship has been a very strong one. I think they've learned from us and we've learned from them. So if you look at how we'll be operating in the garage today, there are a lot of parallels to what we did in season 7. And I think we also felt that maybe there were 1 or 2 areas that we could do better ourselves. And we've taken those opportunities to try and fix some of those gaps, and hopefully we'll see the outcome.
And a word on Oliver Askew, a rookie driver this year, won the Indy Lights Championship with you guys. Were you personally involved in him then, or was that a sort of separate operation?
No, Oliver's as new to me as he is to Formula E, to be honest. I mean, obviously I was aware of him within the team as a whole, but I've never had anything to do with the Indy Lights program. But you know, he was rated highly within Andretti, obviously won the championship. It's very difficult to compare championships in the US to anything that happens in Europe. The level of competition is different. It's a different type of car, different type of racing. But you know, I think this weekend is obviously going to be a challenge for him. It's very new here. It's one thing to run in Valencia and, you know, be reasonably representative. It's something different when you come to a race weekend, particularly on a very dusty track like we have here. But you know, he's got the full support and all the tools that he needs to be able to do a good job. And let's just see what he can do come the end of the weekend.
Thank you very much. We'll open up to the questions in a moment. There's one more for James on the Channel 4 television deal in the UK. What are you and sort of Jaguar's thoughts on that move?
Yeah, so it's a fantastic development. You know, from our point of view, I think all the teams and manufacturers are like critical areas